Happening now, the latest in a fire at an abandoned Jamestown property, what crews say looks suspicious. Next, plus the latest efforts to pull illicit drugs off the streets of Jamestown.
Well, and it has been a very wet July so far, and Mother Nature's not giving up. More of it's on the way. We'll talk about it next as the news at noon starts now.
Live and on demand, this is WNY News Now.
An investigation into a mid-afternoon fire at an abandoned Jamestown house continues today. Thank you for joining us for WNY News Now. I'm Justin Gould. The Jamestown Fire Department was called to 130 Water Street around 3:30 in the afternoon yesterday for smoke coming from inside the structure. Fire crews tell us that the blaze likely started in the basement and was easily extinguished. They say the house, which was condemned and boarded up, was not to be occupied following a previous fire at that location.
It's deemed to be incendiary in nature, which means it was likely intentionally set. Again, that portion of it is still under investigation. The term arson is used to describe a crime, not actually a cause, so we would have to just determine it to be incendiary in nature until it's proven otherwise. There were no utilities connected to the residence, and there were no occupants believed to be residing there at the time of the fire, which does.
Anyone who may have information about the fire is asked to contact the Jamestown Police Department at 716-483-8477. Well, police recovered heroin fentanyl compound and over $14,000 in cash following a drug raid last week in Jamestown. The Jamestown Metro Drug Task Force executed search warrants at 839 and 846 Lafayette Street last Tuesday. Now, inside the properties, investigators say over 7 ounces of the compound, a scale, packaging materials, and cash were discovered. The investigation continues, and police say charges are expected at a later time. The Jamestown Metro Drug Task Force was assisted by the Town of Ellicott Police Department, Southern Tier Regional Drug Task Force, and the Chautauqua County Sheriff's Office in that raid. Well, lawmakers in Jamestown will discuss installing surveillance cameras in city parks during their meeting tonight. The idea was brought forward following a rash of vandalism at parks citywide, and most specifically, the defacing of 2 historical statues in Jamestown's Dow Park. As WNY News Now's Jason Ruttman reports, the consensus solution seems to be installing new security cameras in parks that could catch culprits in the act, or at least deter from those considering defacing city property.
I'm all for some type of surveillance. I still think it's something that's needed to prevent further vandalism and thefts.
The most important thing is that City Council gets a camera in this park. We need a camera in this park as soon as possible.
There is growing momentum across the city of Jamestown to roll out security cameras at city parks in the wake of racist vandalism of 2 Underground Railroad statues. During tonight's City Council meeting, the group of local lawmakers will address specifically how the process could get underway, according to Jamestown City Council President Tony Dulce.
We just want the community to know that this is not something that we take lightly. It's a very serious situation, not only financially, but socially as well, as you mentioned. You know, we don't want to see this. We want to try to do whatever we can to stop it. We don't want to tolerate it. We want the message out there that we take these acts very seriously and that we're going to do all we can to alleviate it and stop it.
There are concerns about how the city will fund the project, however, with Dulce saying he feels it will be beneficial over time for the parks to have cameras, meaning that spending now is a necessary evil.
In the short term, yeah, it's going to cost money to invest in the equipment, but hopefully in the long term, either by catching the perpetrators or, making it so it's not so desirable to do that. It'll be a deterrent to people doing that sort of thing. So hopefully in the long term, we can save money by not having to replace damaged equipment and damaged property.
Jason Ruttman, WNY News Now.
Jason, thank you. The council's meeting is slated to take place at 7:30 at City Hall, with residents able to join in person or watch it streamed online at jamestowny.gov/live. Well, weather forecasters are warning those in the Jamestown area to be on the lookout for flash flooding this afternoon and evening. The National Weather Service in Buffalo has issued a flash flood watch, which goes into effect for Chautauqua, Cattaraugus, and Allegheny counties at 2 o'clock today. Meteorologists say recent heavy rainfall Sunday combined with heavy rain from additional showers and thunderstorms this afternoon into early evening may result in flooding across parts of the southern tier. They're advising residents to monitor later forecasts and be prepared to take action should a flash flood warning be issued. And with that, let's get to Chief Forecaster Dakota Hunter, who's standing by live for us with the very latest. And looking behind you now, Dakota, it looks like the rain's not here quite yet.
No, I mean, it's still mainly confined down in northwestern Pennsylvania. A live look over the Warren City Bank shows you some of those clouds moving on in. This is actually from a shower that's moving in from the south. So this is some of that rain. And again, it's ridiculous when you think about how much rain we've had just in the first week and a half of July alone. And there's that rain shower I was talking about coming in from the southwest on Warren County. And again, the majority of this is staying to our south, but we will see the influx of moisture coming in. Now, as Justin talked about, we do have a flash flood watch in place for much of the southern tier and including Erie and Crawford counties in Pennsylvania. And this starts today at 2 o'clock. It goes until 11 o'clock for the southern tier, 10 o'clock for the two counties in northwestern Pennsylvania. And again, the ground is overly saturated with all the rain that we've had. And as we add more rain onto it today, that's going to ultimately likely cause some flooding problems and also trees coming down. We had reports of trees coming down last night, and that was not due to any severe weather or wind. That's just due to the fact that the ground is so wet it can't absorb any more water, so that water's got to go somewhere, and ultimately it causes trees to become weak and they come down. So watch out for that as well. That could be a problem across the area as well. We only managed 67 yesterday, started the day at 65, so not a big range in the temperatures here. 97 and 39 are the record highs and lows for this day. So through the afternoon, yeah, get used to the rain. Scattered to widespread shower storms, some of them heavy at times through the afternoon. There could be a couple stronger storms later on this afternoon and very humid, 71 to 78, but it's not really going to feel like it when you factor in that humidity with the south wind. Now, basically this week is rinse and repeat weather. We'll talk about how much rainfall we'll get over the next 24 hours. Plus, do we see any dry time? I'll tell you about it with that 7-day, just a few.
We certainly hope so, Dakota. Coming up in about 10 minutes, we'll see you back. Good to see Diane. Jay, good afternoon to you. William, Wendy, and Phil as well. Thanks so much for tuning in here on Facebook Live. Well, as the amount of drivers on the roads increase, so do national and state gas prices. New York State's average for gas is currently $3.19 per gallon, while the national average is $3.15. According to GasBuddy.com, the average price here in Jamestown is also $3.19 a gallon, on par with that statewide rate. The increase in costs reflects the higher demand for fuel as compared to last year during the lockdowns when the national gas price averaged at only $2.20 a gallon. Well, AAA says the demand for gas is the highest since 1991 and that American drivers can expect the cost of gas to continue to increase throughout the summer. Well, Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer is calling on the Department of Justice to investigate the National Rifle Association for bankruptcy fraud. WNY News Now's Julia Gress joining us live in studio with more. Julia.
Thanks, Justin. Senator Schumer says that the NRA claimed they were bankrupt to escape New York Attorney General Letitia James's jurisdiction. He spoke at a press conference in New York City yesterday, saying that despite the move, they have been spending millions on ads, emails, texts, TV, and more in an effort to stop gun reforms. The NRA says it was seeking bankruptcy protection so it could change its state of incorporation from New York to Texas, which is widely considered a more gun-friendly state.
The NRA is morally bankrupt, but they are not financially bankrupt. That's the problem here. Their attempts to drown the country in cash, to overcome the efforts of millions of good people to stop gun violence, must end. And this is one way we can try to end it.
The association commented on the issue, telling the Associated Press that they're working on a formal statement. Justin?
All right, Julia, of course, we'll continue to follow this story and provide updates when we can. Thank you. Well, coming up next, a lot more to tell you about the rising COVID cases in New York, what health officials say about this soon. And later, child tax credit payments will begin this week. We'll discuss the specifics of this program as WNY News Now rolls along.
With coverage that matters. This is WNY News Now.
Located along the Amish Trail, the Randolph Retail Company offers a variety of clothing, jewelry, and gifts for any occasion. Offering uptown merchandise at small-town prices, our locally owned business balances quality and value. With complimentary gift wrap here at the Randolph Retail Company, we pride ourselves in personal service. Check out our Facebook page or stop in today at 127 Main Street, Randolph, just a 20-minute drive from Jamestown.
There's an old saying, there's no news in the newsroom. Well, it's true. The time I spend at the anchor desk is just part of my day. Most of our time is spent gathering stories in the community, stories that matter to you. We can't do it alone, and we need your help. When you see breaking news or have a news tip we should know about, drop us a line on Facebook today, email our news desk, or call our newsroom at 488-7226 so we can bring those stories straight back to you.
EagleZip.com is your local one-stop shop for all of your home and business computer needs. Located on Fluvan Avenue Extension, just outside of Jamestown, EagleZip.com sells and services all brands of desktops and laptops, as well as servers and network equipment for your business. All new computer sales include transferring your data from your old computer, plus a 2-year warranty. Call EagleZip.com today.
Stop by EagleZip.com today and let us make computers easy for you.
Have the best summer ever with endless adventures at Girl Scout Summer Camp. Financial aid available, open to all girls. For more information, call or go to gswny.org.
You're watching WNY News Now, where coverage comes first.
New York State health officials are upping their push to encourage COVID-19 vaccinations after a weekend report indicates an increase in viral cases among the state. New York State's Department of Health says positive cases are up 42% from the previous week, even though fewer people are being tested, while the rate of hospitalizations have flattened. Health officials say the higher percentage of cases are linked to more contagious variants, and the department now encouraging New Yorkers to get the shot. Chautauqua County's vaccination rate has reached 45% according to the New York State COVID-19 vaccine tracker. Now, last week, 705 county residents completed their vaccination series, while 550 were administered their first dose. That according to statistics. The county's vaccination rate fell below the statewide rate of 55%. Well, to boost or not to boost? That's the question. Pfizer thinks a booster for its COVID vaccine might be necessary, something they're set to talk about with health officials today. For now, the FDA and the CDC say they're not necessary. But as Britt Conway reports, some medical experts explain that could change.
This week marks 7 months since the first American outside of a trial got a COVID-19 vaccine. Since then, hundreds of millions of Americans have rolled up their sleeves too. More than 56% of people who can get vaccinated, that's 12 and up, are fully vaccinated. But today, a senior health official says Pfizer will brief government officials about the potential need for a booster dose of its vaccine, after Israel released data showing a marked decline in its effectiveness from more than 90% down to about 64%. As the Delta variant spreads. Now, Israel will offer a third dose of Pfizer's vaccine to people who are immunocompromised, and the UK announced last month it might offer boosters too. But the CDC and the FDA say Americans who have been fully vaccinated do not need a booster shot at this time being key.
But that doesn't mean we stop there. There are studies being done now, ongoing as we speak, about looking at the feasibility about if and when we should be boosting people.
And who should get that booster. But getting FDA approval and a formal CDC recommendation takes time.
That's a multi-month process, so if we don't get started right now, we're not going to be in a position to have boosters available should we need it come the fall.
I'm Britt Conway, reporting.
Britt, thank you. Well, the first payments in the Biden administration's enhanced child tax credits are due to start rolling out this week. Heads of household will receive up to $3,600 for each child up to 6 years old and $3,000 for each 6 to 17-year-old. Half of that credit can be claimed when filing income taxes for the year, but the other half will be paid in monthly installments from now through the end of the year. Those payments can be up to $300 per month for each kid under 6 and $250 a month for kids up to 17. Now, the amount of credit goes down for people earning over $120,000 and households making more than $150,000. About 39 million households and 88% of the nation's kids are estimated to be covered by this enhanced credit. The Internal Revenue Service has partnered with nonprofits to reach households that might not file their taxes. Well, we are excited to announce that we will be partnering exclusively with WNY News Now. From now on, we will share content which will add value to both viewers in Erie and here in Jamestown. In addition, for those who are local in Jamestown, we'll have access to Erie's correspondent in Washington, D.C. as well, to connect you with issues like we've never been able to do before. You can expect to see and hear the benefit of this partnership on both the televisions across the area and in radio in Warren, Pennsylvania, where we'll be broadcasting on Lilly Broadcasting's own 92 Gold. So certainly exciting to announce that, and we are so happy to be part of that Lilly Broadcasting and WNY News Now family. A lot of people maybe don't know Dakota. We're all about transparency here. This has been in the works for a couple of weeks now. I'd say almost a month. We've been talking back and forth with them. We've both gone down to Erie to talk with their crews and meet their team. We've done some work with them previously. As you may have noticed, some of our stories were on their network, but now it's going to be so much stronger than it was before. So I am really, really excited too. And I know they have a lot of great weather staff down there in Erie who you've talked to already, right?
Yep, I got the day we went down there to have like a formal internal, sort of like a formal internal meeting with all the
sort of, yeah,
the internal people there. Got to talk with John Stalin, who runs the weather department down there. You know, Dave Walter and Sarah Tonks, who's the other two meteorologists they have on staff there. I mean, you know, I can't tell you all of what's going to be coming down in the pipeline, but there's some wonderful ideas that have been thrown around, and I mean, this is just a great opportunity for both of us here, and I think for both the Erie stations and for us as well. And you know, to have this very exclusive partnership with WNY News Now is, I think, something that is gonna, I think, change. I don't want to say change as in drastic change, but I think there's going to be a lot of great things that's going to happen out of this partnership.
It is a big game changer. I think it's fair to say for Western New York and specifically the Jamestown community, because before a lot of people maybe didn't realize, you know, we only have a staff of 5 people, right? So there's not a ton of people in our newsroom all the time. Granted, we do a heck of a lot of work to bring these stories to you every day, and I think in great fashion, right? We've had some really awesome exclusive reporting and just general news coverage, which you can't get anywhere else in Jamestown. No one else streams television online like this. So for the news side of things, I think it's going to be incredible to connect you with you know, more of the region and, you know, nationwide as well. They have a lot of really great resources. I'm excited to see what kind of reports we get out of DC, and you know, as a big thing with Congressman Reed stepping down after his 2-year term, who's going to run and be the new face in Washington. If they gerrymander the district, what's going to happen there? So I think that'll be really, really awesome to see, and I can't wait. I can't wait for it. And I just talking to the guys at Erie, the guys and gals there, it's really incredible, and they're so welcoming. So I just want to thank them and everybody for really making this possible. So it's great to see Patty. Good to see Josh, William, Doreen, and Courtney. Hopefully you all are having a great day. We appreciate you tuning in on Facebook Live Land, because at the end of the day, it's all about you. Mm-hmm. It's all about you. We want to give you the most info.
If you didn't read our content and didn't watch our shows and our broadcasts, we wouldn't be able to sit here right now and do what we're doing. So,
and the sponsors too.
And those as well.
Thank everybody, because it's you.
You can't forget the sponsors. That's important.
No, never forget them. Never. So we love it. One thing that we never forget about, because it affects our day every single day, is the weather. And as we've mentioned, it's pretty wet.
Yeah, it is just unbelievable to see how much rain we've had. This is just over the past 24 hours, over 1.5 inches in Mayville, about 1 1/1700ths of an inch in Falconer, Salamanca over 1 inch there. Jamestown officially at the airport, 9700ths, Silver Creek 9500ths, and Fredonia 8100ths. So let's take this 9700th at the Jamestown airport, and let's add it to the rain that we've had. So far this month, what is today's date? It is the 12th of July. We've had 7.19 inches since the beginning of the month. That is a surplus of over 5.47 inches. And as we run right now, if July were to end today, which I think a lot of us would like it to, this would rank as the 10th rainiest July on record. The all-time rainiest was back in 1902. I was not doing the weather at that time, but Justin was doing the news, where we had 9.12 inches. So could we have the all-time rainiest July on record? We'll see. And the rain's not going anywhere over the next 5 days. Look at this. A chance of rain basically each and every day this week, 80, 75, 75, 40, and 65% chance of rain or storms in areas. So, yeah, it's going to be another wet week. Clouds downtown from the top of the building here downtown, 71 degrees. Southwest wind of 8, and look at that dew point at 69. So even though it's in the lower 70s, it's not really feeling like it when you factor in that humidity, and that's going to be another driving factor of showers and storms. There's that little shower that's coming through Warren County right now. Hey, Warren County, how are you? 92 Gold listeners out there, if you're watching on our Facebook live stream, hello. And this is going to be moving like this to the northeast, and that's going to be coming up into Cattaraugus County. And this is what's going on right here. We have an area of low pressure way down here to the south, and all of this rain is actually being sparked by a boundary that's moving through, plus the high humidity. So you'll see future scans showing the rain showers popping up through the afternoon, and any one of these could contain heavy rainfall. That's the reason why there's a flash flood watch in effect for much of the southern tier, and it also includes the Erie County, Pennsylvania as well. That starts 2 o'clock and goes until 11 o'clock tonight. The rain showers will start to taper off tomorrow. We will likely start dry tomorrow, and then a repeat. Scattered showers and storms pop up through the afternoon, and you know how these things work. They pop up at random through the day. We can't tell you when or where it's going to rain. Just understand tomorrow it's going to rain somewhere in the afternoon, so just understand that. So rainfall totals going all the way through early Wednesday morning. We could see an inch or more down across northwestern Pennsylvania, but understand this isn't the main factor here. Just because you're seeing about an inch of rain it's because the ground is so saturated. I mean, we've had all this rain. The ground is so wet, it can't absorb any more water, so the rain's got to go somewhere, and it ultimately is going to cause flooding issues. So that's why the flash flood watch is in effect. 73 at 2 o'clock today. Scattered showers and storms will be prevalent through the afternoon. 75 at 6. A cool day, but the humidity is going to make it feel warmer. 72 by 10 o'clock today. More scattered showers and storms. I've got the future. Next 7 days right there. 80 tomorrow, 77 on Wednesday. And the message I wrote is basically this week will be warm with showers and storms with more muggy air. That's basically that's all I have to say. We'll take a break. Be right back.
With coverage that matters, this is WNY News Now.
I'm a survivor. I'm a survivor. I'm a survivor.
Testicular cancer is the leading form of cancer in men aged 15 to 35.
1 in 250 men will be diagnosed with testicular cancer.
But 98% will survive if detected early.
As a survivor, I believe early detection is the key.
Learn how to do a testicular self-exam and other important facts about testicular cancer at oneball4tc.com.
It's not just what we say, it's what we do.
Local first. It isn't just our slogan. It's our mindset every single day. So whether you're watching our daily live streams or staying up to date with reports on our website and mobile app, you'll always see the same attention to detail from reporters who passionately care about our community, who have one goal in mind: to always put the facts first.
For me, it's more than just getting the forecast right. What I love the most about my job is that I come into work every day to help break down the weather, letting people know how this is going to impact their day. We take pride that First Defense Weather is the only local weather team in the Southern Tier. We don't just copy and paste our weather from outside sources. Every part of our forecast is handmade right here in-house, something our team really takes pride in.
What matters to you matters to us. Every story, every day. WNY News Now, where coverage comes first.
Honorary Forest Ranger Betty White here, lending a hand to my dear friend Smokey Bear. Because for years, he's only said,
only you can prevent wildfires.
But there's a lot more to say. Like, if you park your car on tall, dry grass, the hot exhaust pipe can start a wildfire. So keep the animals safe, especially the cute shirtless one. Go to SmokeyBear.com to learn more about wildfire prevention.
You're watching WNY News Now, your source for breaking news.
Billionaire Richard Branson literally has an out-of-this-world experience. The founder of Virgin Galactic took off for space in his own rocket yesterday. John Lawrence with the details.
What a day, what a day, what a day, what a day.
Another giant leap for mankind taken this weekend as Richard Branson became the first person to ride a self-funded rocket into suborbital space.
Congratulations to all our wonderful team at Virgin Galactic for 17 years of hard work to get us this far.
Prior to Sunday's historic launch from New Mexico, the founder of Virgin Galactic said this step was for all those who actually want to reach for the stars.
My mission statement is to turn the dream of space travel into a reality. For my grandchildren, for your grandchildren, for everyone.
Branson, 2 pilots, and 3 others took a 2,300 mile per hour ride more than 50 miles up to touch the edge of space.
Complete experience of a lifetime.
And that experience ended roughly 1 hour later when the VSS Unity space plane landed safely at Spaceport America and Branson was reunited with his family.
I think like most kids, I have dreamt of this moment since I was a kid. But honestly, nothing could prepare you for the view of Earth from space. The whole thing, it was just magical.
I'm John Lawrence reporting.
Well, John, thank you. There are more than 600 people who have signed up for future Virgin Galactic flights, paying more than $2,000 each for a trip into space. Amazon CEO Jeff Bezos, Dakota, who sent a congratulatory message to Branson earlier this week, is scheduled to make his own jaunt into space coming up on the 20th. His company hasn't yet started to sell tickets to the public, though. So pretty cool. I mean, we knew it was coming, right? Mm-hmm. This was in the works, as mentioned, for quite some time. But man, you think about it, 50 years ago, or 100,
well,
100 years ago, or 50 years ago, I'm sorry. Got to get my timing right here. We're on the moon, and now maybe the public can fly to space. That's incredible.
Well, the battle between Bezos and Branson, I think it was, I'm going to use a quote from my wrestling days. It was the battle of the billionaires.
Yeah, for real.
Because it was a battle between who was going to be able to do it first. And that was a quote, and that was a wrestling match back when Vince McMahon took on Donald Trump. This was years before he became president. And it was called the Battle of the Billionaires. And just look that up on YouTube. It was funny, the whole thing.
Yeah,
but I mean, come to think of it, it would be kind of interesting to be able to go up in space. And who knows, maybe at some point in the future, we'll be able to stay up in space, like a space hotel. But
if you had the money to do it, would you do it? I think I would. I think it'd be a cool thing to do. And I know it's dangerous, right? I mean,
Right.
you've seen rockets blow up and things
Well,
like that.
you see,
I would do it.
Well, you see, I think what they need to do first is they need to, well, we already have a space weather prediction center by NOAA. What NOAA needs to do is they
hire
need
you to
come up with asteroid watches and warnings, so that way you don't get hit by one.
That's probably important. I could see it in the future, right?
Asteroid warning.
Let us know
fly
what you guys
today.
think in the comments down below. That's going to do it for us today. News 24/7 at WNYNewsNow.com. We're back here tomorrow live at noon. Hope to see you then.